road. We are trying to catch up. We are behind on our videos. So we are going to talk about Arlington, Philadelphia, and New York City. So we had a good time in Arlington. We got separated and I was with Jack. Dad was with the girls. And Jack and I made it all the way up to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. And we ended up turning around so that Dad and Georgia went back and I took Ashton to the car. So Georgia, tell us what we saw in Arlington.
We saw
Say it loud.
Trying to think.
JFK's grave.
Yeah, I was gonna say that JFK's grave.
And Jackie.
We saw the first. No. It was one of the presidents. Another president.
President Taft.
President Taft that we saw. We saw the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
Bobby Kennedy.
And we saw
JFK's older brother that was supposed to be president but got killed in World War II.
So when you look straight out from JFK's grave, you can see
Robert E. Lee's house.
well,
Which
if you look
apparently they
straight back,
closed
you
off.
see Robert E. Lee's house. We couldn't get in because it was closed temporarily. But when you look out into the city, you can see the Lincoln Memorial, I think.
Yep.
Right? And when you go up the curb a little bit, we have some pictures. You can see the Pentagon. So we love Arlington. It's really a special place, I think. And then
they had Lego stuff of the Lincoln Memorial, the White House,
and all the gift shops. They have all those things.
I bought a shirt, and Ashton bought Donald Trump gift cards.
That was in DC then, right?
Postcards.
That's still kind of in Arlington, just a little bit.
Yeah. And then, so after we left Arlington, we went straight to Philadelphia. And Dad picked the campground in Philadelphia. It definitely worked. But it was definitely unlike any place we've ever camped before.
Was it the one with the fire pit?
No, it was the one that was on a parking lot. Welcome to paradise in Philadelphia. Okay, let's see if I can switch the...
I like that one. And Mom didn't really like it. I thought it was amazing.
So in Philadelphia, what did we do, Dad?
We didn't have internet, really.
Dad really likes Philadelphia.
We saw Independence Hall. We saw where presidents were sworn in, George Washington and John Adams, when they were sworn in, when basically Philadelphia was the nation's capital in 1789 and 1793, 1797.
We saw the house where Thomas Jefferson rented 2 rooms and wrote the Declaration of Independence.
We saw Betsy Ross's home. We saw Ben Franklin's grave. We went to all the Rocky sites. We saw the Philadelphia Art Museum where Rocky runs up the steps in all the Rocky movies. At the top of it, there's an imprint of his Converse All-Stars, and it says Rocky on it. At the bottom of the steps is the Rocky Balboa statue that was seen in Rocky 3, Rocky 5, Rocky Balboa, and Creed. Trying to think if there's anything else. We ate at Pat's. Pat's
He knows all this stuff. It's so crazy. crazy.
We ate at Pat's King of Steaks,
It was
which is
good.
a Philly cheesesteak stand that was also featured
Oh,
in
God,
Rocky
the
1.
glare.
And there is a
Okay, but
marker
it's-
at Pat's. Would you guys let me talk?
Okay, get the
There is
attitude.
also
Would you
a
like to
marker.
finish a sentence?
I'm done.
I'm done.
We're really finished?
That's
I mean,
it.
what I was saying obviously wasn't important, so
No, we had to fix the video.
that's about it. We went to Target.
Oh, we did wrap up the night in Target, which made Jack very happy.
That's his favorite store, Target.
So after
And we saw City Hall.
Yeah,
yeah,
that big clock. Oh, wait, no, the Liberty Bell.
Yeah, we saw the Liberty Bell.
Liberty Bell. Jack made a friend at the Liberty Bell through the glass.
There was a glass, okay? Jack was on the other side where the Liberty Bell was. There was some other kid on the other side outside of it. And Jack kept going, hi, what was he doing?
Oh, it was crazy.
He kept going like, hi, what's your
Jack's
name?
extremely social with strangers. It's frightening.
Like his teachers say, stay away from strangers, a stranger danger. And he's like, but I want to make friends.
So then we went to New York City and we stayed in a Hampton Inn in the Meadowlands.
It was
Thanks to Angie Willis for that tip.
Angie Willis, I love you.
Good job, Angie. Thank you.
And so then we just had to walk across the street and get on a bus and ride the bus. You pay one time, you get a round trip ticket to the city and back.
It was hard to get on the bus because it was so crowded.
It was really crowded.
Yeah.
I think, how much did it cost for us to ride that bus and back?
Like $27 round trip for everybody.
Wait,
Okay.
can I tell
For
them?
5 people.
Can I tell them like why Dad chose the ages? Can I tell them that? Okay, so Dad likes being cheap. He's really, really cheap. So I'm 12 years old, and it said 11 and under you could get like how was it?
$225 a ride.
Yeah, and so Dad said, Georgia, you're 11 years old today.
That's right, I did.
I yelled, but I'm 12, and he said, shh, because there were people around.
Yep, that day you were 11 because I said so.
You're just barely 12 anyway.
She was 11 that day.
I'm 12 years old. My birthday
You may
was
be-
a month ago.
You may be 11 on some more stops on this trip. You might even be 10. So you just got to
Do
go.
I
there.
look like a 10-year-old?
You might be. Hey, here in a few days we go to something, and there's a certain discount for 10-year-olds and under. You might be 10
What if
that
it
day.
were like,
Wait until your dad tries to pretend to be 18 to get a student pass.
Oh, I've got a UC ID, and I plan on using it as a student pass.
So
Dad, you don't really look 18.
Hey,
he's a non-traditional
I'm a
student.
non-traditional student. Exactly. I might be
But-
working on my PhD,
But
which
this
I'll
family
probably
likes,
never do.
but our family likes cheap stuff. We don't like to spend our money, but sometimes the kids, me, Ashton, and Jack do, but not really Dad.
When I go to Town and Country, I get everyday essentials. When I go to Walmart, I get great value.
And Kohl's Cash.
And Kohl's Cash. And I go to Nike outlets. JCPenney tried to sell me a pair of Nikes the other day for $65. I said, hell no. I stopped at the Nike outlet, got me a brand new pair of Nikes for $39.99.
You said a wordy dirty.
I said, hell.
Okay, so after we got into the city, it drops us off at the Port Authority, which is really close to Times Square and the theater district. So we took the kids straight to Times Square. Jack
Georgia.
loved it. He loved all the lights.
Can I use your phone to use the bathroom?
Yes.
Yes. Go.
Keep going with the video, guys. Come on.
And we decided to ride one of the double-decker buses, which it was nighttime, so it only took us down to, it took us through Brooklyn, like on the Brooklyn
Our
Bridge.
tour guide was boring.
It
Oh
was
yeah, the tour guide
Talk like
occasionally
the
would come on the microphone and be like, "Now we are riding through Greenwich Village.
He only read the signs.
The artists moved here at one time, and the creative people, and eventually more artists and creative people moved into Greenwich Village, running up the cost of real estate And that's what happens when a lot of people move in. So now it is very expensive to live in Greenwich Village.
But the ride was really cool. It was the perfect weather. It cost $100.
Not that the weather was okay, just the wind made me cold.
It was a little chilly in the wind.
I have said several times for you kids to stay in your seats.
Yeah, there were a lot of kids standing up like
Trying to grab signs and stuff.
Because we were so high on there, and like you know how there's red lights on the streets and stuff. Well, like every kid was like trying to get up and just go, I want to touch this, and like he kept going. It would be more safe if you sat down in your seats. And like I saw this one kid just kept going.
So I think after we left, got off the bus, we went. Did we go to the M&M store that night?
Oh yeah, it was intense.
We went to the M&M store, which Georgia and Ashton had been there before, but they liked it. The only problem was the M&Ms
were $82.
They got like 2 bags of M&Ms.
That were like really.
We didn't pay attention to the price.
We didn't know like they costed like a pound like each.
So we didn't take the M&Ms, and that was a big deal because they were angry because they had to throw them away. But who's going to pay $100?
Wait, let Dad tell the story about the.
No, let's not tell them.
Okay.
It was traumatic enough. So
I'll tell my friends back at home.
After that, we left and went back to the hotel for the night. We slept in, went back the next day. Of course, Jack is not happy with all the walking.
I can't walk. I can't walk.
But he needs the exercise. Ashton was really good.
Kind of.
I think she was good.
She just needed food.
Kids require frequent snacks.
I mean, I can walk. Me and Dad are like the walkers. Mom, you can walk.
So the next day, we went to
McDonald's.
We stopped at McDonald's for Jack for lunch. We went to
He was so happy.
$12 to feed everybody for
That's
lunch in
cheap.
New York City.
City.
I have a love-hate relationship with New York City. I love New York. I hate the price of it. So, best advice I can give you guys is eat on the cheap. Eat fast food. Eat the
Pizza
slices
by
of
the
pizza
slice.
and eat the hot dog from the hot dog vendor.
Anyway, so Jack and Ashton and I went to see Chicago that night. Georgia and Will went to the Yankee game.
Yankees
won.
That was beautiful.
It was
really
awesome.
was. Georgia doesn't understand why I don't have a second favorite baseball team. I don't. I love the Cincinnati Reds. And then there's teams I don't hate. I've got plenty of teams.
He does like the Cardinals.
No, I don't like the Cardinals. I don't hate the Cardinals.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
There's teams I don't hate. There's teams whose history I appreciate.
Yes, this is exactly what happened. He bought a Yankee shirt.
I did. I bought a Lou Gehrig shirt.
Why did you buy the shirt? And he said, because I like history baseball.
Because I appreciate the Yankees' history. I wanted a Reggie Jackson shirt, but they didn't have it. So I got a Lou Gehrig.
And we took the kids to Central Park. We went to Trump Tower.
That was my favorite. I love Trump.
Fifth Avenue.
Trump 2020.
Yes.
And what else did we do that day?
Trump Tower.
We went to
Central Park.
No, it was that place that had the NBC. The NBC.
The NBC studio.
Yes, I had fun.
So Georgia got to see the Jimmy Fallon stuff at
I bought a Jimmy Fallon shirt and pants. And oh my God, tell them about the buckwheat picture.
Oh yeah, the Eddie Murphy buckwheat picture.
Looking for love
in all the wrong places.
Well, whenever we went in the NBC store, was it the NBC
Tell the story about dinner that night before we went to the Yankee game, and before you guys got to tell about your play.
I said we went to the play.
Yeah, you didn't tell the whole story about Jack. How you got to imitate Jack and say exactly what he said when he got in there.
Jack made friends with the security guard at the play, and they were singing "Get Low" together.
Yeah. Jack would go to the window, and the security guard would go to the wall.
How do you know you weren't
Mom
there?
told me.
And then we went inside, and he met one of the guys that leads you, one of the ushers. His name was Jack, and so that was a big deal. And Jack had to go to the bathroom, which was another big deal.
And Ashton
voice. You said it the other night. It was great.
At the end, after intermission, of course, we sit through the entire intermission with no problem. And as soon as it's over, Jack had to pee. And so he had to just hold it because I wasn't going to have his sister miss the play because he's being a brat. So we took him at the actually, I'm thinking because he stopped saying anything that he just forgot and didn't have to go. And so we went out of the play, and then he has an emergency again, and so I have to go back in the play and take him back in there, which was of course a big deal because they're trying to empty the theater.
How nice was the bathroom? I just
a normal bathroom.
Oh god.
And that was that. But that was fun.
Ashton told me she wasn't really satisfied with the play.
Ashton thought they were a little unprofessional. It wasn't a fancy enough set for
She
Ashton.
said, oh my god, Bob, just look at her hair. That's worse than like the movie.
And I think she expected Richard Gere to be there.
I would have expected John C. Reilly to be there.
And
if I were there, but I didn't go.
then we met Dad.
And Georgia.
No, before the play, we met Dad and Georgia to eat.
Yeah, tell this
We
story.
ate at that pizza place, didn't we?
No, that was the night before. And that was really delicious. I love that
pizza place is amazing.
Yeah, and hey, $30.
What's it called?
$30 to feed the whole family for dinner. Hey, I'll take that any day.
What's the pizza place called? So I can. What's the pizza place called?
New York Slice, maybe.
Now the next
Go
night,
there. It's delicious.
the next night we went to the Times Square Diner.
Just to eat. Just to fill everybody up. Will had a mini meltdown over prices of food that was exactly like prices of food at home.
But it was delicious.
No. Wait a minute.
Here comes the story.
I can take the whole family to eat at Quaker Steak and Lube for about $65. The final bill here was $76. And when you order a burger at Quaker Steak, fries are included. Here the fries weren't included. Wait a minute. Jack got mac and cheese, $10.95.
Didn't even
at
eat
Quaker Steak and Lube, it's $4.
So I would highly recommend Quaker Steak more, but that place was still really good.
Anyway, after all the negativity, we still had a great time in New York. Will didn't realize he had a good time until after he left, which is wonderful. And then he decides he really likes New York.
I just don't like the price tag.
Jack likes New York better than anywhere.
I got to tell a story about the Yankee game. Yeah, Georgia was right. The Yankees did win. I think it was 5-1, 5-0, something like that.
Rays lost big time.
I didn't like seeing Aroldis Chapman in a Yankee uniform. That really disgusted me, and I'm glad he didn't come into the game because that's just I just didn't like that.
There was a rookie that used to play for the Reds.
Didi Gregorius.
He was there too.
The Reds traded him for Shin Soo Choo back in 2013. Just 1 year of Shin Soo Choo.
Yeah.
All right, now we get off the subway, and it's the start of the fourth inning. A scalper is trying to rip us off and trying to sell me tickets for $20 a pop. I said, no, $25 a pop. I said the game is a quarter of the way. No, actually, a game is a third of the way over.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not giving you $25 a pop. I'll give you $10 a pop for these tickets.
And still wouldn't do it.
And he's like, okay, 20. I said 10. And we just kept going back and forth. And I wouldn't budge. He said, you're not going to budge, are you? And I said, no, I'm not. I said, actually, I'm done with this conversation. I'm walking away.
And then there was another guy that offered.
He was trying to sell me $50 tickets.
Yeah.
But long story short, we got the tickets for the price I wanted to pay. We got in there. We couldn't really get from point A to point B because it really surprises me. If I'm a Yankee fan, I'm going to go and I'm going to watch every single inning of every single game. I'm going to be that grateful that my team has an owner that spends money on good players and has a good team year after year. But what did the Yankee fans do? Stayed in line for concessions all night long, spending more money. You eat before you go to the game. You eat after the game.
Oh God! And then there was somebody.
Cardinal rule number 1 of any ball game or any concert: you don't buy concessions. Movies are the same way. You don't buy concessions at the movie theater either. You do all this before and after.
It's how they make their money.
Nah, wrong answer.
And somebody was sitting in our seats, and
Yeah, some guy with a UK hat on was sitting in our seats.
So that was it for New York and Philadelphia. We had a great time. Jack's favorite place so far is New York.
he loved it.
Dad loves Philadelphia. I liked both of them. The kids were happy. It was not too bad. And after we leave Philadelphia, New York,
We went to it was
Boston.
Philadelphia is just a real inspirational city. I really enjoy that place. I've been there 3 times, and
I've been there never.
4 times. No, I've been there 4 times. I forgot about the time that I went the very first time on my trip to New York on Bernita's tour bus. So I've been there 4
Bernita?
times.
I really love the
Haley
idea.
Basin's grandma.
I really love the idea of Philadelphia and what would have been happening there when they were writing the Declaration of Independence, and like just the excitement and the secrecy and running from house to house with all that information. It's so exciting.
I just immersed myself in all the Rocky Balboa history that's there. Rocky is my favorite movie of all time, and it's just it's so motivational and inspirational that when I go into Philadelphia, it's just a magical feeling.
It is good.
The reason I think Dad really likes the Rocky movies is because he likes Sylvester Stallone and he likes to work out.
That's
Dad
true.
does.
It's killing me not being able to lift on this trip. I've got to lift one time.
The only thing he's done is ran. That's it, just ran.
I've lost a little bit of weight. I do like that.
But he loves lifting a lot. Because back in Chapmanville, every day, he'll be like, Julie, I gotta go to Chapmanville working out. Mom's like, oh, Jesus Christ, what's happening?
Actually, I say I gotta go to my, what is it I say when I say I gotta go
You
to
go to
Chapmanville?
chiropractor.
So,
No, not
are we ready to cut off? Philadelphia, New York, Georgia. How many stars out of 10?
For New York?
Yeah.
For New York, I give it a 3.
3 out of 10?
3 out of 10?
Oh, I thought you meant 5. Oh, I give it 8.
Okay, and
No,
Philadelphia?
7.5. No, wait. New York, 7.5. Philadelphia, I'll give it a 6.
Okay,
I'm
so
not
we'll
big
see.
into
What about, don't I get a rated?
Yeah, Mom. Jeez.
What's your rating, Dad?
All right,
New York.
Arlington, I rate Arlington 9 out of 10. The only reason I give it a 9 is because you have to pay to park, and that's ridiculous having to pay to park to go to a cemetery. I mean, come on. Let's just rip everybody off, why don't we? All right, Philadelphia, I give it I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. The only reason I give it an 8 out of 10 is the same situation. There's no free parking anywhere, so Philadelphia loses 2 stars for that. New York gets a 6 out of 10 for me. That's better than average. Like I said, New York's a love-hate relationship. I love New York. I just don't like the price tag of it. To drive into New York, you'd have to pay a $15 toll. You got to pay all these parking fees.
And the buses.
The subway's not too bad, so I'm not really going to complain about that. But and I don't like how they come on, $80 for M&Ms. Give me a break. Just like Bill Murray said in the movie Scrooge, yeah, rip off the Hicks, why don't you?
So I give everything a 10 star.
Because you're a mom.